Although I've only seen the first Fast and Furious and then the one where The Rock goes to Hawaii and holds a helicopter in place with a chain, I decided we all need a recap since the new one's coming out in like 3 years. So I'm gonna try to recap all the movies, although I've only seen 2 of them and one of them isn't an even actual movie. So in the Fast and the Furious one, Dwayne "The Rock" Diesel meets Paul crash into a Walker, and they have to steal DVDs by racing fast cars. And Paul Walker is like, "Oh, Vin Diesel, you're an undercover cop, but I still want to learn the race." And Vin Diesel's like, "You want to fuck my sister? Well, you gotta learn how to race, and I don't talk to cops, cause I'm not a cop." But then he learns the race, and he's actually really good at racing. But then they have to steal DVD players to make money. So then they take the cars since they learned how to race, and then they rob a semi truck, and some guy gets shot a lot, and some guy falls off the semi truck. But then they steal the DVDs, and then they become rich, and Vin Diesel gets hit by a bus or something, and that's the end. So then, in Too Fast, Too Bi-Curious, say goodbye to Vin Weasel because now Paul Walker is the new character, and he teams up with the bald man Transformers Gibson from the hit movie Morbius, and they have to race again and learn how to be friends. And one of them went to jail, I think, and then they have to race again, and probably steal more DVD players. And this one sucks, nobody's seen it, and Paul Walker says, "Forget about it, cuh." Then we got everybody's favorite spinoff as Fast and Furious Tokyo spinoff, where we play as generic white man and another black character, and they have to team up with Hanzo Asashi from Overwatch 2, and he's got to teach them how to race because they're racing, and Tokyo is completely different because everybody knows really good at driving. So now the white guy's got to come in and teach the Japanese people how to actually fucking drive because they don't know how to fucking do it. Look, what happened last time, they try to drive anyways, so Hanzo dies, and the white guy wins the DVD players. So this is when they start getting good. So you remember how the first one was called The Fast and The Furious? Yeah, cringe name, right? Fuck all those thes. Now it's just Fast and Furious. So now there's not the fast ones and the furious ones. Now they're both Fast and Furious, and Vin Diesel's got to come together to make them all fast and furious, and you can't be one or the other anymore. And after taking the last one out because Vin Diesel notoriously hates Tokyo, now he's back and we're in America again. Thank God, right? And now we have to steal more DVD players for the entirety of America because in the last one, Japan stole all the DVD players. So, but now it's even more fast and more furious now because now Blu-rays are starting to become a thing. And you got to be really fast and really furious to get those DVD players because if they take too long, the Blu-ray players are going to become a thing and they're not going to make as much money on their return investment. Okay, now this is when they start getting good. So in Fast 5, that's right, they're not furious anymore. Now they're just fast because this time they kill Jason Momoa's dad and steal a bank because they need the money from the bank to get more fast because fast equals furious, and this one is actually the good one. Okay, so now this is when they start getting good. So you know how the third one came out and they went to China and it was kind of weird because they're like, why the fuck are they in China? Well, it turns out that was a sequel all along, you fucking idiot. Why did you watch them in release order when you should have watched them 1, 2, 4, 5, then 3, then 6, you fucking idiot. If it was really the third one, then it would have been called 3 Fast, 3 Furious. Yeah, so why was it called Tokyo Spin, especially if it took place in China? I don't know. That is a little racist if you ask me, but anyway, yeah, Fast and Furious 6. So they're furious again, and they're fast, and like the last one, they're scared because Paul Walker exploded on impact. And Michelle Rodriguez was actually gay the whole time. And Vin Diesel was like, I don't actually know anything about the plot of this one. Jason Statham is the bad guy. Yeah, no, he's either the bad guy in this one or the next one. No, The Rock was the bad guy The Rock was the bad guy in the last one. Jason Statham, bad guy. Okay, so now this is when they start getting good. Forget everything you knew about the last few movies, because now this is when they start getting good. So Paul Walker is back from the dead, and him and Vin Diesel got to team up because now they're furious and they're not fast anymore. Now they're just furious, and there's 7 of them this time. That's why it's called Furious 7. It's kind of like the Magnificent Seven, except there's nothing magnificent about them because they're just furious. And they're furious because Jason Statham is back, and he killed Hanzo, and he killed Paul Walker, and they gotta beat him up. And then Vin Diesel learns earth magic from that blind bitch from Avatar, and now he can destroy Vin Diesel. And after he destroys the state, then him and Paul Walker sacrifice himself, and they're going to heaven together, and they make love because it's established in 2X2 Bi-Curious that Paul Walker is indeed bi-curious. And then Diesel, after getting fucked over by Michelle Rodriguez after finding out she was gay the whole time, now he wants to show that bitch that he's gay too, so they fuck in the afterlife. Alright, so now this is when it starts getting good now. So we got the Fate of the Furious, and with the 8 is the number 8. Well, the 8 and the Fate is the number 8 because it's the 8th one. And Vin Diesel's back from hell because he's resurrected by Quan Chi to be evil, and he has to steal all the jet skis with the DVD players on them. So now they get the assembly of the bald men like Ludacris and Morbius and Rock the Guardian and Jason, because now he was the bad guy, but now he has a good guy. And now they have to stop Vin Diesel, who used to be a good guy, but now is a bad guy. And because we haven't had any of those movies recently. And then he dies and then gets sent back to hell where he belongs. Alright, I've actually seen this next one, so I can actually accurately describe what happens in it. So The Rock and Jason Statham, they don't like each other because they're both bad guys. And then they both become good guys, and they're both bald. But one is severely more better looking than the other. And they keep having like this pissing match on whose cock is bigger, and they keep fighting over who gets to fuck Jason Statham's sister. And then they have to fight Bloodsport from Suicide Squad, and he took all the DVD players from Japan and is like grinding them down into nano machines that he injects into his body to give him superpowers. And he also has a bike that's like run by Siri, and he can tell the bike to do cool flips. And then he's got to chase the bigger bald guy. And he's like, why don't we just go to Hawaii, where I lived for 6 months and my entire family is there. But they go there, and then they change the Hawaiian, or they teach the Hawaiians how to fight the nanotech army with shields and fire catapults and spears and shit. And then Jason Statham gets a car with flamethrowers on it. And then a helicopter comes, and then The Rock uses the powers of Captain America and uses his kunai with chain and drags the helicopter down. And then the 2 regular old middle-aged bald men beat up the super soldier and kick him off a mountain. Alright, F9. They're not fast or fierce anymore. Now they're going back to their roots, and they're going back to racing because Formula 1 is dead. And they're like, what's better than F1? F9. This will do at least 8 times better than F1, so then they have to go back to racing, but first they need money to fund the race, so they have to steal more DVD players. And since Deadshot stole all the DVD players and made nano machines in the last DVD players they know of are on the moon. So they send 2 most disposable characters off to the moon to try to find the DVD players, and everything goes well, and then they make their big race, and they make all the big money and a big money shot, and everybody's happy, and they all drink Corona. Speaking of Corona, this is when they start getting good. Fast X. So after the evil coronavirus that killed Paul Walker, now everybody's all furious again. But they're so furious that it cancels out each other, so now they're only fast again because that's the name of the movie. So anyway, Elon Musk is furious that they went to the moon before him, so he's like, I'm gonna hire Jason Momoa because you killed his dad 5 movies ago back in 2009. And now Jason Momoa is all like, you wanna move those DVD players? No. All that money you made off that race is my money. And big fight. And that was the entire Fast Saga, all in one quick, concise, and accurate video. thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my movies. I enjoyed making all of them. And, yes, good film. Good film.